Game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit... The fuck am I playing? Okay. Hello everybody, this is EmberWytch, and I am finally back from finals. As everybody knows, I am a college student, so you gotta bear with me. I'm gonna have finals, I'm gonna have midterms, I'm gonna have conferences, whatever. But it isn't about that. It is about this. A few of you guys wanted me to play Doki Doki Literature Club since it just came out, and everyone's been telling me it's really fucking weird. It's supposed to be like a dating simulator or something, I'm not really sure, but mixed with horror. So we'll see how that goes. And there was plenty of warning, and I do agree to consent and all that stuff in this, so let's see how bad it is. Cleaning my glasses. Oh, that didn't do shite. Close enough. Alright. So we will start a new game. Enter your name. Let's see. We'll do Ember. Because why not? Hey, says the person. The questionable person. I see an annoying girl running toward me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Ooh. That girl is Sayori? I'm gonna say these names wrong, so get over it. My neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend that you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk to let Sayori catch up to me. Okay. I overslept again. Well, she looks like a little bit like Cry. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking of ignoring me. Maybe because I fucking wanted to. That's mean. What are you, 5? Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think that we're a couple or something. Why would you just assume that people would think that you guys are a couple? Could just be some weird ass friends, you know. People look at my friends all weird all the time. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean to me if you want to. Even if you wanted to. Whatever you say. Aww. So dorky. She reminds me of Ruby. So, I haven't watched that in so long, I need to catch up on that. We cross the street together and make our way to the school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Ember, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me that you would join a club this year. Did I? Is there an anime club? Is there a club where I could just play games on YouTube? I don't know. I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of my many conversations where I've dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content with just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Fuck yes! This is me. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. You don't need social skills in college, trust me. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. Aww. I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you weren't used to the real world. Eee. That's pretty steep. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. Okay. She's what you call a obsessed girlfriend. Overly obsessive girlfriend. I'll look into a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess. I'll promise you that. God. Can't you just leave me alone? I don't want to be around people. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree child? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does extra everything inside her head. I cannot read today. The school is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. I don't think I did any clubs in high school. I know I did band, I did marching, I did concert, I did jazz, I did different ensembles, but I don't think I did any clubs. I did robotics my freshman year. I don't know. Have any of you guys did any clubs in high school? I know college I did a lot, but high school I didn't really do much, so. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start out with anime club. Okay. Anime club you should get along with because you like video games, you like anime. Yeah, there might be people there, but at least you're watching anime. Hello! Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch up to you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. You know what? Well, that you can come to my club. Sayori. Yes? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is the vice president of the literature club. Not that I'm ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure that she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show any interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to anime club. Come on, please. Why do you even care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club already I would bring a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. I am literally going to come up with nicknames for all these girls. Don't make promises you can't keep. You see, that is the truth. Do not say you're gonna bring someone and then guilt trip them into going. You know, if they don't want to go, then they don't want to go. Sorry. Sayori, you are fucking up. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit because being generally used to for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Little girl. The new member's here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure to meet you. Sayori says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? I'm a boy? Alright, I thought it was like ambiguous or whatever. Way to kill the atmosphere. Hey. Ember, what a nice surprise. At least you're nice. Jesus. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club. It's full of incredibly cute girls. Oh god, I'm playing a 14-year-old boy or something. Going good. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. So sorry? Mizuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Nasuri. I'm gonna call her Nadley in a minute. This is Nasuri, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Nasuri. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again. Monica smiles sweetly. Okay, look. I don't know what it is yet, but I've been seeing stuff that says like hashtag only Monica. So yeah, I feel like I should watch out for her. I feel like I should watch out for all of them, really, but we'll just see. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. Aw, don't sell yourself short. So having her smile at me is so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Ember. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Okay. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsu and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuri grabs and a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Woo! I've never seen people act like that to cupcakes before. Calm down, it's not that serious. Nasuki. I'm American, I can't say this shit. Nasuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn on with icing, and little pieces of chocolate are used to make the ears. So cute! Okay, not gonna lie, I'd probably do the same thing. That would be cute. I had no idea that you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Yeah, well, you know. Hey, she has like a little tooth. Like a cat. Like, the little anime cats. Little cat creatures or whatever. The neck goes. They have little teeth. Like a little fang. So that's what she has. That's really interesting. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing all over her face. Oh. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I couldn't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bit down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuri. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did. Sayori said... Well, maybe. Okay. Maybe you and, Sunder playing from Undertale might have a thing in common? But not for you, you know, you, dummy. Well, damn. Alright, shit. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Oh. Wait, that's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. Oh. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? Well, I have this friend that pretty much got your guys' hopes up, so yeah. Guilt trip. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, dude, you were, so... Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. Make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You'd probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of a debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and take something special out of it. And make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica is a really great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people here at the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all their effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Okay. I'm not trusting this game right now. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Yeah. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why we're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Maybe that's why they're also so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Ember, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've ever read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Nasuki's head suddenly perks up. God, I cannot read today. It looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Are we getting meta? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I read a book once. Back in them good old days, I read something called a book. Damn it. I am a NEET. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Oh. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For some reason, as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Nizuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Nizuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. Looked like you're trying to work on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud. And give it back. Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just so it's just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Mizuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Okay, not gonna lie, that sort of is like me and my friend from high school. So, we always argue about how I'm cute or not cute or whatever, so we always goof off. But yeah, no, this would definitely be me. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Nah. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share some of them? Well, why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. Not a very confident writer yet. Understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Damn, that's deep, girl. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. About that. That has the face of, I shouldn't have fucking talked. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Mizuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone's even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Ember? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join the club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. The four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Aww. But I'm sorry, I thought. Ember. You all are defenseless against these girls. Aww. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision why it's like this? That's it. If writing poems is a price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls lighten up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You did really scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Ember, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star, Monica, with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Nezuki clean up their food. Hey, Ember, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart from the club room and make our way home. Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing, I'm homebound. Okay. I had to do that, so I'll be right back. So, the whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Nezuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Let's find out. Alright. I just need to make the most of my circumstances and make sure, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess it all starts with writing a poem tonight. Do we actually get to write poetry? We do. Okay. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem most. Okay. I like Yuri. Sayori's sweet when she's in her head. She's a little tough around the edges, but I like this one. Because she's quiet, she's mature, she's really sweet. So I think we're gonna go for Yuri. So... tragedy? Sadness. She likes horror. Adventure. Fear. Thirsty tears. Secretive. Tweet skipping. Melody. Color. Okay, that was good. Inferno. Massacre. I'm just picking all the darker ones. Depression. What? Wait, why does Sayori jump at depression? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take off my glasses. They're driving me crazy. Alright. Games, calm existence together, landscape, nature, pure, frightening, misery. Frightening. Lazy, vivid, bliss, hopeless, grief. Summer, uncanny. Judgment, hair, defeat, anxiety. Amazing, blanket, family, crimson, rainbow, flying. We'll go with anxiety. Okay. Rain cloud, warm, childhood, excitement, eternity, lust, extraordinary, memory, silly, happiness, eternity. Okay. I'm gonna go with wrath. Girl, you are dark. Jesus. Alone, dance, fun, passion, journey, love, pink, dream, giggle, whistle. I'm gonna say alone. Alright, Sayori's really starting to freak me out. Atone. Okay. You might be the happy-go-lucky girl because this one's really depressing, this one's really creepy. Asuki, I think you might be my girl after all, who knows? Feather, melancholy, jump, fantasy. Heartbeat, sunset, marshmallow, Fickle cloud mouse. Mouse. Oh my god. Extreme, uncomfortable, determination. Determination sounds good. Special, fluffy, fireflies, portrait, captive sensation, lollipop, vertigo, suicide, raindrops. Let's say raindrops there. Peace, headphones, music, disoriented, party, spinning, whisper, disarray, whirlwind. Whisper. Okay. Hi again, Ember. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back in the literature club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Ember. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Dude. See, you already told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan on just to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Okay. Mitsuki certainly has a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Okay, so she likes manga, so what? Mitsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. It is. Swiftly defeated, Mitsuki pops back in her seat. Don't worry, guys. Ember always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without even asking. Without me even asking or something like that. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Tiori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. Ooh. How come? You and Ember can be good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri. Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like it was a big deal when it really wasn't. What do I do? Sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it would keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'd like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I definitely would read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book, but I can't help to notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from her book. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like she's reading the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems like she's on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But it only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious on how you come... Just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... Well, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. You bought it for me, dude. It's cool. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There is an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give away anything. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. But while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story. So that dark turn came out of nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Ember? No, that's not. It's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories. Don't worry. So don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or have their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonists, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm babbling in, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means that you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Well, that's true. In fact, might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a minute ago, you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah? Are you sure? Seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something that I'm not used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I could feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry! I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's. Then I hold the book more between the two of... Then I hold my book more between the two of them. Ah! I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold open the book. I guess that makes sense. It's kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. It takes Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn the page, Yuri slides it under her thumb, and after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled together, closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I could feel the warmth on Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted there for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. You calling me a stupid reader? Dang, girl. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second-guesses a lot of things that she says and does. Like she's afraid that she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Ember, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. This is so embarrassing that you might think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Gotta put my glasses back on, I can't read. I guess I more meant that it was kind of cute. Ah. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time that we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that right, Yuri? Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I never really have done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? I guess Yuri, we've been hanging out today, so... Yuri seems most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Oh, he's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Well, I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates that you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant... Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words of the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason why I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. Right. I think that the most noticeable thing that I recognize is that new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick writing styles separate from the topic matter, and they forfeit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something that you can be blamed for. There are so many different kinds of styles and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes down to practice and learning by example, and trying new things. Also, I hope that everyone else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Valuable feedback. Bleh. Mizuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Mizuki. You mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghosts under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It seems... It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, believing it in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I don't just read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. So I like the poem. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it's really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. To be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Ember. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Ember. Me too? Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna show my best friend. Siri! This is a good poem, Ember. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it, that you wouldn't take it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm actually standing in front of you in the club room. Oh my god. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I can't break my that doesn't mean I will break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Ember. Deep down, you're not selfish at all. you know, trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. Not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motives here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much it means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem, right? Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a raining day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it isn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Oh, that's cute. Sayori? This is a guess, but... Did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or a no question. I forgot to do it last night. Or at least it makes me feel better. It makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say like it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially the last line. I made eggs and toast. Oh god. Even though you were late to school. Excuse me. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was way so much fun. Monica's is the best. Yeah? But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Whose poem should I read next? I'll go after Monica's. Hi, Ember. Having a good time so far? Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring up things, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway. Want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Ember. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's sort of a barrier that we'll learn to pass soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Ember. I was going, oh, in my head while I was reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. Thanks. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. Wow, low expectations. That's awesome, dude. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full imaginary and imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple, direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. Never really asked though. Well, I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure you'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased toward their own kinds of styles. I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way someone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. On the nose. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read them. Okay. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction of the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, I've already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Are you abused? So what do you think? It's very, freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of the style I gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems I've been putting an emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be very powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it, but I guess you could say I had some kind of, oh my god, words no English do right today. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany today. Recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, Nizuki is the last one. Ember, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What do you expect me to believe, that you actually put an effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You're getting better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you'd better off just trying it again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek. Cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even, take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less vivid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I just decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it all fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling with that last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Nezuki's feeling proud, then I wouldn't take that away from her. I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. A little more stressful than I anticipated. As if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they were being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Nezuki. They're gingerly changing sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Nezuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? No, it's nothing. Nezuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? You just completely missed the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Ember did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Ember liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Nezuki suddenly stands up. Oh. I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Ember appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew in size, a bigger size as soon as Ember started showing up. Nazuki. Nazuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Oh, wow. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned toward me as if they noticed I was standing here. Ember. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she can get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. That's what the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader and not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain this to her, Ember. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep, expressive words in our language. This is the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Ember? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they're probably gonna think more highly of me. Okay, no. Help me. Nazuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Yeah? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Well, that's her problem. It isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to inject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Nazuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Nazuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they painted beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Nazuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Nazuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So that's why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader. I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well... I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did y'all feel about sharing your poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Ember, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Ember, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent so much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Nezuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Whew. You know, Ember? It's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone makes me the happiest. And I think that everyone likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught onto the whole situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Dude, you're getting ahead of yourself. Well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Alright. I'm gonna end it there, because I've played a good bit, and I don't want to rush too far into this. I don't want just to throw shit together. So, if you like this video, let me know, and tell me what you think about it. Which character would you go after? Would you go after Sayori? Would you go after Nezuki, or would you go after Yuri? I personally like Yuri. She's really calm, mostly. She's really quiet, reserved, and I do personally like the darker writing whenever it comes to poetry. I do like poetry. So, but tell me what you guys think. So, if you liked it, leave a comment down below, like it, and share it with a friend. So, I'm EmberWytch, and I'll see all you pretties in the next video. Bye.